Hey everyone, welcome to the Dare to Care podcast, the podcast where we talk about the inner workings of ministry at Inspire Family Fellowship and community stories within and around the church. If you have any comments, stories, or questions about Inspire or our Dare to Care ministries at any point during our podcast today, feel free to send those questions to Amy at inspirefamily.org. We also invite you to join us in person at Inspire any Sunday or Wednesday that you're able, 523 North 21st Street, Bismarck, North Dakota. Our Sunday services are at 9:15 and 10:45, and Wednesday nights we start with a meal at 5, classes for all ages at 6, and our family service at 7. My name's Ty Farnsworth. I'm the worship coordinator here at Inspire Family Fellowship, joined today by our Dare to Care and Women's coordinator,
Hello.
Amy Langang, as well as our special guest today, Val Kuhn. Val, how are you doing?
I'm doing good.
You are one of, I want to say, 5 active youth to ever be on the podcast.
Awesome.
You're in good company. All the other ones are no longer here.
They're not.
Except
You're
Evan.
right.
Evan's still here, yeah.
Yep, he did come on. Well, we're excited to have you, Val.
Thank you.
So, tell us just a little bit about yourself. Where are you from, Bismarck?
Yes, I was born and raised in Bismarck, lived here my whole life, and I've lived in the same house for like the last 10 years.
Tell us where you went to school. We always like to track people.
Oh, I'm a senior at Century High School, so I have just a couple months left, and then I'm going to go off to college.
Where did you go before that? It's very important to Amy.
It is.
Okay, I went to Horizon Middle School, and
Okay.
then before that, I went to Liberty Elementary.
Very
Liberty.
good. Yep. That's where I
Which is
used
a
to
newer
teach.
school.
But she wasn't there when I was teaching.
I'm old, man. I remember when Liberty opened.
I was a first grader when it opened.
So where'd you go to kindergarten?
I was homeschooled before that, so I didn't actually start school till I was in second grade.
Okay. Makes sense.
So I was there,
yeah.
but I didn't come till you were a second grader
Oh,
to
yeah.
Liberty.
Interesting.
So
How was that 1 year without Amy in your life? Was that a good
It
experience?
was kind of terrible.
No, very fun. So I don't know where you want to start with your questions here, Amy. We kind of got started on, before we started filming, just how did you end up at Inspire? I know you're still active at a couple other churches. At this point, you're kind of an honorary pesky, and that means a lot of things at this church, depending on who you ask. How did you end up here at Inspire?
Well, I started going to church as soon as I was born. I went to Charity Lutheran Church, and I still go there on Sundays, and sometimes I come here on Sundays, but I started there, and that was kind of where my faith journey just began, because I was always surrounded by, people who believed, my whole family believed. Like on Sundays, there'd be like a whole row of us Kuhns. It'd be like my family, my grandparents, my grandma on the other side, sometimes my aunt. And that was always really special to me because it was the one time of the week where I really got to see everyone. And they were my first influence, especially my mom. And they were the ones that really got me started on faith. And I remember like my big moment where I was like, I really want to follow Jesus was I was sitting at church, and I was sitting there, and my mom was like, okay, we're going to pray now. And she asked me to pray. And I really, I was a little kid. I didn't know what to say. And she was like, just talk to God like he's your best friend. And, as a little kid, I was like, yeah, I want Jesus to be my best friend. Like, that's awesome. And so that was, like, the first moment where I really started talking to God and, growing in my faith. I went to youth group there all the way from, like, when I was born to my freshman year of high school. And I ended up losing, like, a lot of friends. There's some that switched churches and all that. And I really found myself in a place of, like, I need to find a community of people. And so I kind of, shopped around for other youth groups.
Yep.
And I went to a couple my sophomore year and part of my freshman year. And the one I went to was, like, it was great, and there was a lot of great people. And I found myself at a place where I didn't really agree with their theology. And that was a struggle for me because they're my friends. Like, all my friends were there, and I had to make that really hard choice of I need to move on because I'm not actually going to grow in my faith if I don't believe what I'm hearing. And then coming up to my junior year, Miss Chloe Wolf
Yeah.
She was like, I love the endearing term of bullies for Jesus, or what is it called?
Jesus bullies, yeah.
Jesus bullies, yeah. And like that whole group, they approached me and they're like, yeah, like church is about to start. You should come. It's great. There's food. And that, that always really gets me.
Sure.
But they were like, show up. There's food. It's going to be great. And I'm pretty outgoing, but I was kind of nervous just because I didn't know anybody.
Mm-hmm.
But I showed up. I walked into the high school wing, and Ernie was standing there. And so he was the first person I met here. And Ernie's really enthusiastic with people he doesn't know and knows. And he was just like, hi, how are you? Like, where are you from? What's your name? And that was really awesome to me because it was like the godly kind of love that you hear and like you're supposed to like have in the Bible. And, I got everywhere and I did youth group and I'm like, yeah, this is awesome. And we got up for worship. You got up on stage, Ty. And I was like, oh, this is great. And everybody went up to the front, which was really weird for me because, I'm from like a traditional, like sit in your seat, sing quietly kind of Lutheran church. And we like got up, people started jumping. And I'm like, oh, we're jumping now. And that's really grown on me, by the way.
Good.
So praise Pit for the win, Ty.
Yeah. Someone told me I started that. I guarantee you I did not start that.
I'm not sure where it started.
I don't know where it started, but I'm glad it's continued.
Yeah,
because
it's a good thing.
It is a really good thing. And it's, like you said, people are intimidated by it, but I think a lot more people grow to feel encouraged by it and like they're able to express their faith.
Well, I think the kids enjoy it.
Yeah.
It gets them up and moving. Parents love it because they love to see their kids in that environment. So it's pretty awesome. So you're at Inspire and you're still going to charity a little bit, you said. So that's pretty cool. But how are you involved in things? I think you're involved in quite a bit, if I'm not mistaken. Tell us a little bit about that.
I'm involved in a lot here and at charity. Here, I've really gotten to like transition into a leadership role this year. The last group of seniors, they did a really good job, but they left a huge like gap for me to fill. And I've really been trying to take that leadership role, and they were always so welcoming. Like you'd walk into the coffee shop and about 5 people would say hi to you. So I've been really making it a point just to say hi to everyone. And I've played here on Sundays for music, and I've led with Ernie a couple times with the underclassmen, which is really fun because like he gives you the lesson plan sheet and you're like, okay, I'm gonna read this. I'm gonna quick read this right before the lesson. And I'm like looking when he's talking and he's not saying a word on that paper.
Not at all.
I put a lot of time into those, Ernie. I wish you'd actually use them as a template.
Ernie's improv is unmatched. And I'm like looking, and then he'll say something like really outlandish and they'll be like, Val, what do you think? I'm like, what? What's going on? But I really enjoy that because I feel like I'm at a point where I can connect with the underclassmen because I just went through what they're going through, and I can be an influence to them. A lot of nights I pray with people after the service. I know there's prayer, like they have prayer after the service, and I usually end up doing that too, and that's really special to me. At charity, I play for music. And I like to usher in the mornings, and that's always really fun. And I do Sunday school, which is cool.
What ages do you work with?
I've worked with like every age up to 6th grade, but I really like the little kids because they're like, I know we were talking about on Wednesday, they're like not afraid to ask questions like at all. They're like, it might not be the best question, I may not know the answer, but I really like talking to them because they don't care. They just want to know. They're just curious, and they're just like bundles of joy.
What else do we have here? Well, we talked a little bit about your mentors growing up and how your mom really stood out to you. Was there anyone else that you can think of?
I would say my grandma. She's one of those really wise people who she shares with your faith, and she listens to you. She listens to all of your weird questions, and she was always that person that like was there for me when she's like my biggest fan, you know what I'm saying? And when I talk with her, I'm always excited to talk with her because I know there's no judgment. She just wants to share with me everything she knows because, she's really wise.
It's a grandma.
It's very
She's
cool.
being grandma.
Very cool. You already touched on it. What are your plans for next year?
So I am going to go to UND next year. I am going for a teaching degree in music, and I'm really excited for that because teaching is I really love teaching, and I'm so happy that I get to continue on that. And I'm going to do that, and then I hopefully want to come back to Bismarck and teach. And I would also really love to teach youth group here after I graduate.
Okay.
There you go, Kate.
I bet Kate's excited.
Yeah. No, I was going to ask you, because you touched on it a little bit about how last year's senior class just kind of, they were huge, but they were so impactful, and we've used them as references on this podcast plenty of times. What is it like for you as the junior now turned senior, having to fill that gap, not just the personalities that disappeared when they went off to their different schools, but what's it like trying to keep that legacy going, especially as someone like you who didn't necessarily grow up at Inspire?
It's a little bit tough. I mean, I was their resident junior. They're all seniors, and then I just always hung out with them. I think that with them being gone, there's more of an opportunity for other people, I think, to maybe step into that role. And I really like that because it's not going to be worse or better, but it's going to be different. And different is good, I think. I don't know.
Do you think it's hard to keep they had such high energy, that senior group, and just the junior class is a little bit smaller, I think. Do you find it difficult to kind of keep that high energy and excitement some nights, or do you think it's pretty easy once you guys are all in the coffee shop?
Sometimes it's hard. I made a lot of friends last year that weren't seniors, which was awesome. But I've also had the opportunity to find more friends this year. And I've been trying to kind of bunch them all together and get a little makeshift group going. And it's so much fun because, like I said, it's different, but it's just as good and it's just as fun. And usually we don't have problems keeping up the energy because, I mean, we always got music playing, we're making drinks, and we just have fun. We dance a lot.
Do you see yourself as a mentor to the younger classmen in that leadership role?
I mean, I hope so. Like I said, I pray with a lot of them. There's a handful that I particularly pray with every week to every other week, and I hope I'm a mentor for them.
Well, you've got a few months left before you graduate. So this is kind of you haven't had time to think about this question. But in the next few months before you officially graduate from high school, what are some things you'd really like to maybe prepare the younger classmen, especially those maybe in the core group and whatnot, to kind of take the lead as our Inspire high schoolers?
I would really like them to lean on each other, and maybe not just me. I would like them to lean on each other and kind of band together because, I mean, like you said, that's what the senior group did last year, and they had a huge impact on everybody, including me. And I want them to have the same thing and for them to be mentors to other people and just kind of continue that cycle. I feel like that would be really impactful, and I really like that.
Sure. I think you kind of already touched on this too, but with the senior class disappearing, the next largest class that we have is the freshmen that have come up.
Oh my goodness.
Do you see, are you and the other seniors in your grade kind of intimidated by Evan and his freshman crew?
They scare me so much. I have plenty of classes with those freshmen this year, which is really odd as a senior. And they're all so sweet, but they're really scary. And there's so many of them. But I'm kind of hoping, like I said, they fill those shoes because they are really bullies for Jesus. Evan just regular bullies me.
Yep,
but
understandable, yeah.
But I love how impactful they are. They invite my senior friends to church, something I've been working on, but it's really fun to see, they may not even know some of my friends, but they're like, oh my goodness, you should show up to church on Wednesday. It's so much fun. And I really love to see that because they're like, who are you? Yeah. And I love that.
No, they have so much confidence in it. It's cool to see, and I'm sure it's intimidating for you, but I don't know. I feel like that'd be a lot of fun to watch this class disappear and watch the new class come in and just kind of fill that big space. So
The freshmen are going to do great.
good.
So
Very
what
cool.
are some of your highlights from Inspire or Ignite highlights, things that you just really remember as being a youth, almost, I don't want to say former youth yet, but just things like camp or special events that you've done with Kate or that Ty's done as a worship leader? What are some of your favorites?
My favorite service is it's the prayer service. What is that called?
The Hour of Power?
Hour of Power is my favorite service of the year because I think it has the most impact on people because it really gives them that opportunity to share like what's going on in their life, because I know some people just don't really do that, and like I've shared with people and people have shared with me, and you know, like half of everybody's crying on the way out, but in a good way. I really liked the unplugged one you did.
Oh.
When the power went out.
I was going to say that one of
The
them was
real
on purpose.
one.
One of them wasn't. But that's cool. We're doing 2 this semester.
Awesome.
We're doing one the 11th of February, and then we're doing one in March again, right before Easter. So, yeah, hopefully, whatever we end up doing fills that cup that you have there. So
For sure.
very
And
cool.
and I think the other event that I always think of is the lock-in.
Sure.
That one's really great because it's a lot of fun. Like we had Nerf battles and we did like Predator, and I actually got stuck in the garbage can out there
Yep, sounds about
playing
right.
Predator. I got in there and I was like, yeah, this is great. Nobody would look in here, and I like for the life of me couldn't get out, and I was in there for about an hour. And Luke Naslund, and I know you know, he's been on here too, but he was going by the garbage can and he like nicked it, and he was like, wow, this is a lot more solid than it should be. And he thought it'd be funny to roundhouse kick it.
Oh, jeez.
That one was so much fun. That was my favorite event of that one.
Very cool. We have one next week.
Yeah, I'm planning on going. I'm
Yeah.
really excited.
You
So this is a little plug though, because
Yes.
the high schoolers have a hard time registering for these events. So either register yourself or have your mom and dad register.
Please.
Yes.
Last year I registered when I got there. I didn't know that was an option.
Okay,
but
let's
we
do
made-
better.
That sounds about right, but
we made it an
let's
option.
make sure Kate has enough food. Yeah.
So yeah, get registered for that because that's the 6th. I don't even want to say the dates.
Yes.
The 6th to the 7th. Sorry. There it was.
No.
Yes. Ernie and I will be in Phoenix for the weekend. So, and that's another plug that we can talk about. But yeah, the high schoolers are going to hold down the fort and drive Kate and Isaac crazy. So it should be a good night. It should be
It's
a
going
good.
to be awesome.
Kate is a very tolerant woman.
Yes, she is.
I've asked her some really dumb questions over the year. Oh, well, you know, since I've been here, and she's just like, and I loved the reel you guys did with the making all of Kate's stress disappear.
Oh,
Yep, that was a good one. Mm-hmm.
We are her stress, but hopefully sometimes
no,
good stress.
She
She
loves, what
loves
she
you
does.
guys.
Yeah.
All right, so we heard a few highlights from you. Any more that stand out?
I'd like the end of the year when we do the seniors get up and talk about like how this place has impacted them, because I guarantee every single one of them can get up there and talk about something, and I'm sure a lot of them could talk for an hour if they wanted to about like experiences and everything that they've had here, and I'm really excited to do so, and I know some of my fellow seniors are really excited to do so, because I remember looking last year, everybody was up there and they were just going on and on and on about everything they loved. I was like, yes, that's so awesome. Especially
Very
for youth to be like that excited to go to church. I mean, you don't see that everywhere. Wish you did, but it's really cool that you get to see that here. And I really like that.
Very cool.
So if you could leave Inspire as a senior, what are some words of advice you'd offer to the younger class?
Or even your former self. Like,
Oh, there you go.
What's something you look back on and wish you had known that maybe you'd pass on to the underclassmen?
I would say, I mean, the goofing off is great, but really take in everything like your youth group has to offer. Really listen to Kate and the youth leaders, because they're there to teach you. Like, they're volunteers and they want to help you. So, number one, be nice to them, but also kind of just really take in everything they have to say.
And are you feeling ready to go to college? And are you hoping to start some sort of ministry up there or join a ministry? Or have you explored that yet?
Yes, I have. I have heard from some of the people from last year, and I'm going to UND, so they have like crew up there, and I'm really excited to join crew. And I would really like to start like what you kind of do with the music ministry. I would love to lead worship. Can't really sing, but I can pretend.
I can't either.
Yeah, I would really love to start up that ministry and make it really strong because, and I'm sure I can drag a couple people out of, as a music major, I'm sure I could drag a couple people from the music wing and play with us.
Absolutely.
Just have as big of a worship band as we possibly can because it makes it more fun.
Well, we love the energy that you bring our way, Val,
Absolutely.
and we appreciate your time today. I think we're about ready to wrap it up, unless you had anything else
No,
to
I was
add.
just going to close us in prayer, or
I would
unless
love
you
that.
want to do it.
No, I really would appreciate it
That
if you
means
did
you
that.
got to read the outro.
I can do that.
All right. Let's bow our heads in prayer. Father, thank you so much for Inspire, and specifically today, thank you so much for Val. Thank you for her heart, her kindness, her energy, and all the things that she brings to this place. Continue to bless what she does in your name and continue to guide her and lead her. And as she goes off to college next year, just continue to move in her life in ways that maybe she doesn't expect. Bless all the people around her. Work through her and help to administer your kingdom in any way you see fit. It's in your mighty name we pray. Amen.
Amen. All right, everybody. Thanks so much for joining us today on the Dare to Care podcast. And don't forget to join us here at Inspire on Sundays at 9:15 or 10:45 a.m. Or on Wednesdays, meal starts at 5, 6 o'clock classes for all, and 7 o'clock worship. Take care, you guys.
We'll see you
Bye.
next week. Bye.